All right, everybody, the housing market is getting very interesting. This is a historical moment. I hope everybody just notices how historical this is. This is why I like keep making videos about this, is because the housing market is going through one of the biggest historical moments that has been since 2008, 2009. There's some really interesting data that I want to talk about in this video. The housing market is changing by the moment. Like, data is moving faster than before because it's all on social media. The Fed is jumping in there. The Fed is really affecting a lot of things. We've seen the full setup downturn and we're at capitulation point of the housing market. I want to talk about it both as a real estate agent, an investor, and somebody that just loves looking at this data because, man, oh man, is it interesting. Let's talk about it in this video. I want to have an interactive video. I want y'all to comment down below what you think's going on. I like reading the comments. Even the ones that tell me I'm stupid, I find those entertaining too. But I'm going to put myself out there and talk about this because I'm seeing the boots on ground, things that are happening, and I want to put those into this video. So the Case and Shiller report came out. It comes out, it's kind of a tracking of the U.S. housing market. You know, it basically is an index of home prices. And I'm going to put that up right here. This is basically, we're seeing at least a 1.3% month-over-month change from July to August. So you might be saying, hey, home prices went up like 13% and we're only seeing a 1% change. Well, we're seeing the change. Today we saw Zillow lay off 5% of their workers. We saw Redfin laying people off. We're seeing more layoffs in Tampa through Zillow. Many of these so-called real estate websites are laying people off in preparation for something they know that's on the horizon. We saw YouTube come out with earnings yesterday, and you might be saying, well, what does that mean? Well, YouTube, the money creators are paid on YouTube come from a brokerage of ads. Advertisement for products. This is telling me since YouTube is making less money and they're forecasting less money in revenue from ads going into the peak time, Christmas, we know that companies are just not spending money. And earnings season is here and they're all forecasting, hey, there's going to be a slowdown in the months ahead. This is all just painting a picture here that we're in for a drawdown in a lot of things, not just home price. The interest rates just going up isn't bad for just home mortgages and people trying to buy a home. It's credit cards, car loans, many things that have to do with credit are all going up. The cost of money is going up across the board. I think we're going to see a massive amount of credit card defaults in the future because through the inflation, this whole process, we are seeing everybody putting it on credit cards. The average savings in America is not a lot. It's less than $1,000 for most people. And they're putting everything on credit cards. At some point, I mean, I was looking at the amount that prices are going up at just Target. We're talking 20%, 30% increases on a lot of just household items over the course of the last few months. Some of them have doubled. And, you know, vinegar was one that surprises me, and that's in a lot of things, has gone up tremendously. This is all leading to my theory I've been painting over the last 6 or 7 videos. This is going to cause housing prices to go down. All these things I've talked about is the capitulation point in what we're seeing in this recession. Recession is 3 million jobs lost at the minimum. And how is that going to affect people going into foreclosure or getting evicted? If you watch my last videos where Fitch, Moody's, Goldman Sachs are all predicting between 5 to 10%, 15 to 20%, or 20% or more if we have a recession, decline in home value prices. We're seeing interest rates continue to go up. We saw 0.75. We're seeing another 0.75. We'll see another 0.75 probably next month. And we'll probably see another one after that because the Fed has said, I'm not stopping until we see 2% inflation. And they don't care how much pain they put on us. And this greatly affects the housing market. We've also seen a lot of pain in the stock market, down between 20-25% in the S&P 500. That's mind-boggling. Just think about it. If you invested money in 2020 and you saw that humongous run in the stock market, you were back to the exact same price that you invested in 2020. It has receded that much. That's mind-blowing. It's almost like 1 for 1. You saw the whole run up and boom, you're right back to where you started. Biggest rug pull ever. I talked about that in my last video. We all got rug pulled. And it's happening in real estate too. Equity annihilation. Bam, it's all gone, baby. In my previous videos, I walked you through the issues with Airbnb. I walked you through the cash flow problems, the insurance problems of the state of Florida, insurance problems nationwide, because it's not just Florida. Everybody's got their natural disasters, whether it's fire or tornado, and these insurance companies across the board are making it more problemsome. I talked about how local politicians are coming in with rent control and all these other issues to stop short-term rentals. I talked about the large builder problems. The new builds, the big companies that build the new builds. I talked about all the issues that they're having. And I'm going to talk about more about it in this video. I talked about the single family residential issue. The idea of our foreclosure is going to be on the horizon. Is insurance going to cause some of these foreclosures in the state of Florida? The inventory, the lack of inventory. Now, massive amounts of inventory coming on the market. All these things I've talked about in these last few videos leading up to a lot of this data that's coming out showing that home values are falling. Home values are coming down. Now, is it going to be hard or soft? That's what we got to figure out, and that's why we're making this video. I've been on the phone with real estate agents all morning, basically telling me, Jack, my buyers have dried up. Hey, this house just bounced out of contract. Let me give you a number. 24% contract cancellations. 24%. New build mortgage applications are down 13%. New build mortgage applications. That means the amount of people that were going to buy a new build has gone down 13%. And let me go a little further. Some of the biggest home manufacturers, builders, acquirers of property in the country have said, you know what? I am just going to write off the deposits and earnest money we have put down on some of these large land acquisitions and just say, we're not doing it. It's not worth going through the process and losing a lot more money, and let's just liquidate all of our inventory. That's what they're saying right now. On the last few videos I've done on new builds or on new builders, they are liquidating everything. I went over the numbers. I showed you the emails where they're begging to get rid of these things. And that is like the first sign of I'm scared. I'm a builder. I'm scared. I don't know what to do with these. I don't listen to my real estate agents, and that's what got me here. They can't sell it now either, even though we're begging them to. And that is the capitulation off the cliff moment. Interest rates were the stressor that broke the back, okay? And we will not see the full ripple effect of these interest rates for 5 to 6 months after the interest rate happened. And so now I'm going to tell you when I think you can kind of feel the bottom, okay? See, the 2% inflation probably won't happen for years. But unless the Fed pivots and turns the money printer back on, which would make housing prices explode again because of the easy money out there, the cheap money, the cheap debt. Talked about it in my other videos at length. Unless that happens and they keep squeezing the market, if the real estate agents are at the top in the property acquisition, the contractors are at the bottom. I'm not saying like at the bottom as in they're low people. What I'm saying is they're at the bottom of the feeder chain of acquisition, build, remodel, doing the work. When we see them slow down, which we're already seeing them slow down, some of the CEOs are already talking about electricians, plumbers, roofers, sheetrockers. Those guys at the new builders level are seeing a slowdown, right? And as most people think of when they are going to remodel their house, when prices are going up, they'll remodel their house. When prices are going down, they say it can wait, okay? And that it can wait is what will start to hurt and slow down the plumbers, the sheetrockers, the renovators, those guys, okay? Right now, they're so busy, they don't even see it. But when we see them say, hey man, it's kind of slow, and you see them starting to talk to you, because right now I can't get a electrician or a plumber or a sheetrocker to call me back. But when we see them start calling people back, when we see them actually going out to hunt for work, we know we are seeing the bottom. I think that's very key here. And I think it'll be somewhere in between mid to late next year. I think we'll see max pain, like people really starting to scream at the February, March of next year. But the end of next year is when we're going to see people saying, hey, the work's just not out there. And that's when we know everything's slowing down. And hopefully the Fed takes notice when a lot of these people aren't working. We're seeing massive layoffs because this is full ripple effect. Real estate holds up our entire economy. And if real estate is buckling, the rest of the country is starting to buckle. Let me tell you, there's a lot of earnings calls going on right now. We're in full earnings season. A lot of these calls right now are pretty bad. They're saying, hey, the future's not looking too good. The numbers are not that great. The ripple effect is happening. I mean, yeah, election season is coming up. We'll see a bear market rally into election season because they got to make it look good to get reelected. The ones that are out there. After the election is going to tell us a lot. And I think the stock market will come back down. Not financial advice, my opinion. And I think the home values are going to follow suit right after that. So look for the people in real estate to start feeling the pain, and you know that prices are coming down. Like I said, the last few deals I got were underpriced. They were under ask price. When we're seeing sellers willing to throw in a lot of stuff and showings not happening, there's home builders out there right now that didn't have a showing all week. And think of the holding costs on all those properties. All week, no showings. I'm seeing some of the home builders agents getting hired on at other agencies because they're not making any money at the home builders site builds. Okay, it's wild. So the numbers are trending down. Okay, let's look back at the Case and Shiller report. Trending down, month over month, trending down, quarterly, trending down, yearly, trending down. These are not going to just jump back up. They're going to trend down. And whether it's a slow trend or a fast trend, they're still trending down. All the smart guys are saying they're trending down. The real estate agents are saying they're trending down. So where does that leave you as a home buyer? It leaves you with this. Renting versus owning. Interest rate versus not. Am I staying there long term or I'm not? Do I want to move to that place, that part of the country, and just take the hit because I'm wanting to change my life or get out of a certain condition in where I'm living? Does that mean more to you than an interest rate? Can I refi later? Dave Ramsey talked about this recently. You can just refi later. It's not coming back down. Well, I love Dave. I think he's great. I like some of his philosophies. But every indice is saying it's trending down. What he's referring to is, for a lot of people, their equity in their home is their savings account. It is their net worth, and that they're building something. They have a place to sleep. It's part of having prosperity and safety, and that you can refi that number later. Makes sense. And if you're looking to retire somewhere, yeah, I'm going to be there for 20 years. I don't really care what my interest rate is. I'm putting half down. Really doesn't matter. Or I'm planning on paying the house off in 5 to 15 years or 20 years. Doesn't matter. Those are questions to ask. I mean, 100% of rent is gone, okay? the equity you build in a house, whether you lose it on the front end or the back end or you make it up later, it's really up to you. It's a special situation. You might not be able to get that corner lot in that good school district later that you can get now. You know, your kids are probably at school age now and you need them in that district versus later you won't. Those are all things to take into account. So I want you to comment down below your thoughts. This is an interactive video. And I want to know what you think out there. What are you seeing in your area? What's different? And don't forget to like and subscribe because liking really makes the video go forward. And just had to give my opinions. Little Jack's running around the house. Really hard to do a lot of adventure videos. He's a great guy, though. He's pretty cool. So, you know, he's been a little sick, too. So, you know, he can't really do much. But I'll see you guys in the next video.